everybody, welcome to Kids Church. I hope you've had a good week. So this week we are going to explore something a little bit different. Now the last 2 weeks we've looked at Palm Sunday and Easter, but before that we were looking at the character of Jesus. All the things that Jesus showed other people, things like trust and joy and gentleness and being kind and patience. And so we are going to revisit that. We're going back to look at that. And what we're going to look at today is something that Jesus showed us, and that was faithfulness. Now, faithfulness is a really long word. I don't know if you've ever tried to write it down. It's very long. But what does it mean? So faithfulness means that you can count on someone, that when they said they're going to be there, they'll be there. So if you were a good friend and you were being faithful to that friend, when you said you're going to be there, you'd be there. Or you can trust that person, that you know and you can trust them. Or maybe what you say you're going to do is what you actually do. You're going to be faithful to that as well. So you be faithful to your words, faithful to your actions. And maybe when you're a friend and you want to be a faithful friend, you'll stay friends for a long, long time and your trust will build up. So we're going to explore faithfulness. And to explore faithfulness today we're going to look at two different stories in the Bible. And both of them are found in Matthew. And Matthew is the first book in the New Testament, and it's one of the 4 Gospels. And so we're going to explore one of the stories first in Matthew. So where shall I begin? Well, there was a father, and this father had 2 sons. And he went to one of the sons and said, "Will you go and do some work outside for me? I've got a job for you that I want you to do. Will you go and do it for me?" And he went, "No, not going to do it." So Dad went, "Okay, that's fine." And then a little while later, the son felt really, really bad. You know how you get sometimes that churning in your stomach that you know you should be doing something that you should. And he felt really bad. And so in the end, he decided to go anyway. And he went outside and he did the job that his father asked him to do. And then the second son, the father went to the second son and said, "I've got a job for you to do. Can you go outside and do this job for me?" And so the son went, "Yeah, I'll go. No problem. I'll do it. That's fine." And in the end, he didn't go at all. And he didn't go outside and help and do the job. And so Jesus, when he was telling this story, he said, "So which one was faithful? Which one actually said what they were going to do? Which was the better person?" And of course, I think it was the one that said no, but that ended up doing the job. But he was talking about how when John the Baptist came and was telling them that Jesus was coming, the Messiah was coming, and to listen to his words, some people that you would never thought would listen and change actually changed. And the ones that should be listening actually didn't listen at all. So it's being faithful to what you do and what you say. So that's quite an interesting story. And I wonder if there's any times you say you're going to do something and then it just doesn't happen. Or you say you're going to behave a certain way, you're going to be kind, you're going to be patient, and then it doesn't work out. But because God is faithful, we can always try to be faithful. So always remember that. And faithfulness is a really good thing to explore and try to be as a Christian. So we're faithful in our relationships, we're faithful with the things we say and the things we do. And also, God gives us so many different gifts, different things that we can do that other people can't do. And it's finding out what you're good at and what's best at and what you really like doing and putting them together and working on them and working them for good for God. And that's what it's like giving when God gives you a gift, to use it for him. So the next story is a bit about that. But remember that God is always faithful, so we can be faithful. So let me think of the next story. And this is also found in Matthew. And it's quite near the other story. And again, Jesus told this story. And he told a story of a man, a very wealthy man. And this man was going on a long, long journey. And so he called his servants. And he said to the servants, I'm going on a journey. I'm going to entrust you with my wealth, with my money. Now, so the first servant, he gave five gold, big bags of gold to this servant. And I don't know, I wonder if you can imagine what a big bag of gold actually looks like. Gosh, I think it'd be really, really heavy. I think you couldn't lift it off the ground. And can you imagine the first servant had 5 big bags of gold? And then he called another servant, and to the other servant he gave 2 big bags of gold. Wow, 2 big bags of gold. Remember, I said I don't think I could even pick up 1 bag of gold. And then the next servant, he gave 1 bag of gold. And he said, look after my wealth, and when I come back, I will repay you. So he went off in his long, long journey. And when he came back, he called his servants back to him, and they all came. And he said to the first servant, and the first servant came to him, and he said, Sir, you gave me 5 bags of gold. And see, look, I've got another 5. So he gave him 10 bags of gold. And do you know what he said? He said, well done, good and faithful servant. He said, you have been faithful with a few things, so I will be giving you much, much more. Come and share in your master's happiness, and welcomed him back into the house. And then the second servant came. And remember, the second servant had 2 bags of gold. So I wonder what you thought happened. Yes, the servant had worked so hard, and he'd got another 2 bags of gold. So he gave the master 4 bags of gold. Wow. So the master again was so pleased, and he said, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will give you so much more. Welcome, come and join in your master's happiness. And so we have the last servant that came, and he had 1 bag of gold. Now, this bag of gold, remember, I said I don't think I could lift a bag of gold. So it was still worth an awful lot of money. It was still worth so much. I wonder what happened. What do you think have happened? Do you think he gave him 2 bags? Well, listen to the next part of the story. So the servant brought the bag of gold and said, Master, I was afraid. I know that you are a really, really important person, and that you are really hardworking, and that you reap lots of different things, and you work hard to save lots of money, and I was afraid. And so I went and I dug a hole and I buried your gold. And I kept it safe for you. I kept it really safe. And so because I kept it safe, here's your bag of gold. So, what do you think the master said? Well, he said, you wicked servant. He says, why would you do that? He says, even if you took my gold and put it in the bank bank would give me interest and you'd have to do nothing and I'd still have a little bit more money. He says, but you did nothing. I gave you something of worth and you didn't do anything with it. So he said, give that bag of gold to the man that has 10. The man that had 5 bags and doubled it. And actually, just go away. Just go away from me. I don't want to see you again. So, what's that story about faithfulness? It really means that God is giving you so many different things, so many gifts, so many talents, but He's also given us so many things like kindness, goodness, joy, thankfulness, patience, trust, all the things that we've been talking about. And they're all worth so much. And if we don't use them, gosh, that's really sad. You might be really good at sums, and if you don't use them to calculate things and to think about things, that's really sad. Maybe you're really kind, but if you don't use it to show other people you're kind, that's really sad. So we as Christians have to be faithful with the things that God has given us as well. So I hope you've enjoyed exploring faithfulness, and there are lots of different activities to do about faithfulness. And you see how important faithfulness is. It might be a long, long word, faithfulness, but it's really important that we show that as Christians, that we're faithful with others, that we're faithful with the things that we do, we say in our actions, and that we're faithful with the things that God has given us. And also, the most important thing is that we stay faithful to God. And being faithful to God is one of the most important things. And sometimes that's a difficult thing. So explore that together. And again, it'd be great to see and hear all the stories that you've been up to this week. So have fun with exploring faithfulness, and I'll see you next time. Bye.